frozen comic ways. From deep within the form of frozen comic ways.
Welcome, listeners, to the 34th edition of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. It's the 4th episode of Season 4. We are the show that compares and contrasts Fallout experiences through a lively roundtable discussion by playing through the same quest with characters who have been randomly assigned drastically different attributes. Welcome, everyone. This is Pat, doing the hosting duties, joined with my co-host. Ray is in the house. Ray, how you doing?
Doing great.
Andrew, also in the house.
Pat, sir. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. Best wishes going out to Kara, who is too sick to even come on the show and drink NyQuil. That tells you how under the weather she is, because she loves her NyQuil.
Let's hope we could coax her back on for a NyQuil Kara part 2.
But now there's I don't know. We're about to enter into cold and flu season here, so I think we'll have a chance at some other point. So tonight we have a really long quest to cover. We got 2 quests we're going to cover in our roundtable adventures in New Vegas. We're going to cover They Went That Away, part 2, right? Yeah,
the second half.
This is the one that's split up. Yeah. And then we're also, which They Went That Away, I think is not. No, yeah, there's some. I forget how far we took it last time because I've been so disconnected, been really out of sorts with travel and stuff.
We got to talk to Manny. We got to Novak, and Manny said, we now need information from Manny to see where the Great Khans took off to, and in order to do that, we have a few different options.
Okay, here. All right, that's right. All right, so. We are talking to Manny, and we are going to do Come Fly With Me, which is a wonderful quest, one of my absolute favorites, but it is really complicated. It's got a lot of branches, a lot of steps, a little bit of stepping and fetching, but a lot of fun stuff. I think it's got some of the most entertaining outcomes in all of New Vegas. So that we're doing that.
And a couple of interesting characters buried in.
Oh yeah, several interesting. Yeah, there's I think 3 very memorable characters in this. Well, 4 actually. 4. No, you got to count the Night King guy too. Yeah. There's a lot of very memorable characters. So a couple of quick show notes for everybody. We are jiggering the schedule around just a little bit due to some travel changes and. Making sure we get everything covered. So it's all, Andrew has got it all on the website. Andrew, thank you for making those updates.
Yep, not a problem.
Next week is going to be our second Blighty episode. So thanks to the UK crew for putting that together for us. Very well done. Then in 2 weeks, we're actually going to go play along feedback. So that's a little bit out of sort. So anybody who's playing along, sending in feedback, you need to get that in a week earlier than normal. So that is going to be the 19th. We're going to do play along feedback. So get those MP3 files in, voice memo feature on your phone, whatever you got, and send those in for the 19th. And then the 26th, the week after that. So in 3 weeks, we will wrap up their official play along portion of the quest with doing Boulder City Showdown and Ring-a-Ding-Ding, which is the last quest before things start branching off and getting really confusing up in here. So before we jump in, Andrew, how you been? Things going all right?
Oh yeah, not too bad, Pat. Geez, it's finally cooling off in Indiana. It was about 95 degrees here for some reason in the middle of the fall, and it just finally, I think the weather kind of broke today. So
nice.
I am a man of the fall, and I just started a little bit of a vacation today. It's a wife
nice
cabin down in southern Indiana, beautiful Brown County, Indiana. So it'll be a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
Little vacay. That's great. That's great. Ray, how you been doing?
Doing pretty good. Kind of been cheating a little bit. Ran off onto the Skyrim side for a little bit because of some of the.
You're seeing another podcast?
I'm sorry, Pat. Please forgive me. Yeah, I
such a whore.
I couldn't help myself when the SKSE came out. I had to play with that, and that led me to Bruma.
Yeah.
So it.
I think you guys are going to do a mod review, right, for Bruma and the upcoming Skyrim Addict?
Yeah,
I
whenever
think I saw some plans for that. Yeah.
Playing around with the idea. But tonight, back in the saddle.
Yeah. All right. You're back where you should be. Although, gotta admit that that new survival edition, the survival mode for the dragon game is sounds pretty interesting. I think some early reviews are mixed. No surprise. I think it's still in beta, right? It's not officially released yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So. Because once it officially releases, you got to pay for it. So.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Is that? Oh, it's a Creation Club thing, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Can someone explain how this will affect will it affect the mods I already have in any way? I don't even understand what this thing is, this creation. I haven't looked into it.
It's basically paid mods with a couple of, so one difference is, I believe, Ray, I think it does not disable your achievements.
As far as I know, it doesn't, and it is designed to play well with even with a modded game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's I don't think there's any intent to take away the mods that we all know and love in either of the games. But yeah.
I don't want to imply that I don't think modders don't deserve to be paid. It's just that I don't think Bethesda should swoop in and score 90% of that transaction or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not sure that's the case this time. You know what I mean? But just in the past, anytime they try to do shit like this, it always just goes sort of sideways. You know?
Yeah. And I think the survival mode, that's a good example of something that maybe kind of makes sense to layer in, because it's it's a natural kind of port over from the Fallout series. But I don't feel strongly about this, but the main thing for me is I hope that they don't do anything that breaks the mod community, right? That's the fear, right? That they're going to do something here that becomes problematic for modders.
I might not be as excited for that the Creation Club thing, but the Bruma, which for some reason I kept saying Burma in my head. I was like, where are we going? Burma? Okay. No, but that I just found out the other day that that's actually for consoles too. I'm so used to being the poor whipping boy of the master race that I'm not used to having any cool, great expansion mods for the Xbox One. But this Bruma one is, so I'm going to load that up sometime and playing it. But I've got my Fallout New Vegas Roundtable character going. I'm doing a play along with the Oblivion Roundtable guys going now. I'm doing that Mario Kart pocket. I don't have enough time. There's too many games.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and the the encouraging thing is that with the SKE 64, it's only a matter of time before that's available for Fallout 4 as well, which will blow up Fallout 4 mods again in a big way.
Oh yeah, great point. Yeah.
I still don't understand what that is, Ray. You know me, I'm a dunce of technology. It sounds like you're talking about Nintendo 64 to me.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So, okay.
So maybe once that comes out, maybe we can convince Victor to dip his toes in the Fallout universe and come on and do a mod special with Ray, and Andrew and I can just sit back and listen.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm always in the dark, but I love tossing out weird questions.
Yeah, there you go. So let's see. The other thing I want to mention this now before we forget, because it's a big, the annual big event in the ASA community is coming up in just a little over a month on November 11th, I think, is our charity stream. Have the date right, Andrew? Is it 11th?
That's perfect. Yep.
All right. So as usual, it'll be chock full of, some kind of all day-ish kind of thing. We're still working on the programming. I think just about all the shows on the network will have a special, probably be multi-threaded. I think we'll probably have some Twitch action going. We've got a few other ideas kicking around. So mark your calendars.
And we'll be live broadcasting all day long. It'll be a Twitch and live streaming and podcasting and everything. It'll be great. It's a live, big, huge event, and we're doing it all for a great cause to help fight cystic fibrosis. So. We appreciate everyone with all the support. Last year we raised around $2,500, and we're hoping to, put a dent in that again this year. So,
absolutely, and we got once again have a few prizes in store. I don't know what the other shows are doing, but here we've got some nice 3 different. Now, Andrew, are we disclosing the contents, or are they going to be a surprise?
I thought it'd be more fun to keep them secret, right?
All right, I'm with you on that. Yeah. So we got 3 prize packages with, I think you totted up the retail value, right? Of
Yep. I went online and from the Bethesda website and from people selling on eBay or Amazon. I didn't do like the outrageous inflated prices on eBay. I did the actual like sold prices. You know what I mean? So I looked up actual fair value, market value for all of these items, and we have them in packages of $25, $50, and $100. We have 3 different packages. So we'll get into more about how you have to bid and donate and all that stuff. But just know that we have a big package this year at $100, and we all got one at $50 and $25. And just so you know, all of this bidding that you go for these raffle items, it goes directly to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. None of us take any skim off the top. Even the shipping, we pay out of our own pocket. So all of this money is directly to charity. We don't keep a dime of anything.
Absolutely. So on in aid of a very, very good cause. So I think that's most of our news. So we got a big quest to cover. So we should jump into it. You guys want to? Let's see. You guys want to knock out They Went That Away just to kind of get that one wrapped up? Because that one is where do you want to?
Because part of how you can solve They Went That Way is by doing the next quest. Like this,
true.
Fly With Me is kind of built into They Went That Away. So just so you know that one option of completing They Went That Away is to complete the quest, Comply With Me. But yeah. Did you guys do the other 2 options? Even though you did play Comply With Me?
I did not. I used the Comply With because I didn't have Black Widow with this character. And what's the other way that you can? So you go to the dinosaur. You found Manny Vargas, the non-Boone sniper who protects the town. He knows where the cons went, but he won't tell you unless you do one of 3 things. Mm-hmm. And one of them is you can sweet talk with Black Widow. Ray, do you remember the other way to get him to talk? I think it's 3 ways.
Is Confirmed Bachelor the opposite sex version of Black Widow? Because I've written down in my notes Confirmed Bachelor.
Oh no, you're right. I'm looking at the wiki. You are correct. It is Confirmed Bachelor. Yeah, Confirmed Bachelor is the perk that a male character has that will basically flirt with a male NPC.
Ooh.
Yeah, the only other ways I know of are kill him.
There you go. That's always helpful.
or pickpocket him if you have a good pickpocket skill.
What, does he have a letter or something?
Yeah.
And
same thing. If you kill him, you can loot his body and take his note.
Take the letter. Okay, that makes sense. I also have written down here that the terminal. Is there a terminal in his room?
Yeah, in his room.
Yeah, good call. Yeah.
You have. I guess you could hack that or something if you're. What skill? It's not hacking in this game.
Science.
Science is the skill.
Science. I didn't see what level check that was though. So, and plus you probably have to do it when he's not around. You have to wait till he's up in the dinosaur mouth or whatever, I guess. So you'd have to break into his room and break into the computer. So you probably have to have a lockpick.
Yeah, I don't think any of the hotel rooms are locked. I think you can, because I was playing around looking. I was doing one of the side quests where you have to find an entertainer who's living in Novak, and I was walking into rooms trying to find him. And I think you can just walk into every room.
Of all the rooms, that's great.
Yeah. Nice. No, about half of them, even the ones that are red, though, they don't go hostile or anything on you. They're I think it just means you. I think the reason they're color coded that way is that means you can't sleep in those rooms.
Oh, okay.
Because you can't sleep if you're trespassing. So that's.
Well, we just figured out why there's no vacancy in Novak. They don't.
Right. That's just chock full. Yeah. Yeah. So so you go to Novak and there's a few ways to talk to get the info out of Manny. Outright ranging from murder to flirting.
Something for everybody.
Or a little bit of light larceny in between. You got that, or you can go take care of some ghouls. So go ahead, Andrew.
Tell me about what he said about the ghouls? What was his problem with the ghouls?
Well, several people in the town will complain about the ghouls.
Okay.
Because I believe the complaint is that the ghouls who have moved into the Repcon factory are attracting ferals who wander down to Novak and give the people of Novak problems.
Why? Tell me lore-wise why ferals are attracted to regular.
I actually don't know that there's specific lore, or if this is just what the people of Novak. I mean, depending on, I'm trying to remember. Let's see, ghoulish. Is there? So there's the ghoulish perk in 4, which will randomly make ferals friendly to you. But actually, ghoul mask. That's the one I'm thinking of. There's the ghoul mask in 3, where the player can masquerade as a ghoul, and the ghouls will become friendly. But I don't think, Ray, do you remember? I don't think there's any mechanic in New Vegas where the ferals ignore the non-feral ghouls. I think they just will attack them normally.
The ferals will non-feral ghouls? Wow.
I think.
Wow.
Ray, do you remember?
No.
Yeah.
Hey, there was that. Speaking of the feral ghoul mask, I think that was referenced in Tales of the Commonwealth. I believe. Didn't we pick up a feral ghoul mask?
Yes, you did.
At one point?
Or I think you did. I did, and that was actually one of the first things that bugged out for me in that mod.
I'm trying to remember. It's like I doubt that he wrote in that would cause feral ghouls to ignore you. But I was thinking maybe that would be fun if he actually did. But I don't think that actually happened. But I put it on a lot of my followers and let them walk around. It's very fun.
Yeah, yeah.
And their main complaint is that because of all the ferals up at the Repcon facility, they can't go up and loot, the stuff out of the building. They can't go scavenge.
I think it's scavenge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I know. I think maybe even old lady Gibson might complain about him too.
What are they scavenging out of there? Like
there's all kind of shit at Repcon.
Parts.
Well, yeah. Well, so old lady Gibson is her seat outside her station, her gas station, is actually a part of the sign. It's like the E from the Repcon sign or something. It's like turned on its side. I didn't recognize it myself. I actually saw it referenced online, but yeah. So there's just weird little Easter eggy things like that.
I want to go back and look at that.
Yeah. So but there's a lot of good junk in Repcon. Yeah, of course there's all. Let's see, was it sensor mod? There's one of the junk items that you just find a ton of if you go into Repcon.
Oh yeah. No, I remember. There's a couple of different components that are good.
Fission batteries.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those. I know I keep asking everyone all the time, but what is Eddie? What junk do you need to scrap him back together?
It's scrap electronics, scrap metal, sensor module. I forget. I think it's maybe 2 electronics, 1 scrap metal, a sensor module, maybe 1 other item. And I usually have high enough repair just to do it directly because I always pump up my repair.
If you have all those items, then you don't need an extra repair or science or whatever boost.
Correct.
Okay. It's like, no offense to my pooch, he's my sign, but I also want to, carry around some Eddie at some point too, a little bit.
Yeah, Eddie's the best, man.
And Ray's beating me on followers.
Yes, I am.
How dare you?
Just like I haven't really been killing very many people either. I'm trying out, a new style.
Wow.
He's got 4 or 5 followers with him. Tell us about your mod.
Yeah. So the mod I have is to give me Sunny Smiles as a follower, and along with her comes Cheyenne. And so I figured that was my human follower, and then I got Eddie, and so the 3 of us have been cruising around doing stuff, and I'd gone by the Crimson Caravan, and the lady whose name immediately jumped out of my head, gives you a quest to go buy out Cass's caravan.
Mm-hmm.
So went through all that, and at the end of that, if you're successful, you can recruit her as a follower. So I decided, yeah, what the heck, Sonny's been great, but I always like Cass.
You thought that would dismiss Sonny,
and so I thought it would kick back, a message about her, having a follower already, but it didn't, and so she just started cruising along. So I've got 4 followers, be bopping around with me,
but Cheyenne's pretty fragile, if I remember it. I think some geckos killed Cheyenne in my game already.
Well, so you have, with the mod, you have the ability to set Sunny to to not die. So she's essential, and because she's essential, Cheyenne's essential.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So Cheyenne's usually good for about 2 or 3 attacks, and then gets takes a knee.
It's funny when they take it. When Rex takes a knee, I'm like, "Are you dead? Are you okay?" Because he like lays on his side with his tongue hanging out, but it's just like, I forget what the cursor actually says, but it's not like search Rex. It's he's incapacitated or knocked out, or I forget what it actually says.
Now I assume you can stim pack your companions. I think won't that if you go to the
bring them right back
wheel,
in.
you can optionally stim pack them, or they'll pop back up if
whatever, they'll wake up sometime.
Yeah. So Michelle is running around with 4 followers as well.
Oh, nice. Running the same mod.
He's got a couple of them. He's got the Sunny mod, the Willow mod, Delilah, and then I guess Veronica would be his regular follower.
Wow, that's a whole boatload. I'm still searching for quest followers. I've been told that they don't really exist in this game, but if everybody out there, keep your ear to the ground. If you start a quest and someone wants to tag along with you, to be sure to tell me about that.
Yeah, they I think all the ones I can think of in this game that you run around with temporary, they as soon as they say let's go somewhere, they sprint off towards wherever you're supposed to meet them. They're trying to remember if there's any of them that say like you lead the way or anything. Most of the time, if you have to meet somebody somewhere, they will sprint. They will like literally sprint there and leave you in the dust, and you have to go catch up to them.
I always liked in Skyrim when they would say like, would you like me to meet you there, or would you like me to come along?
Yeah. Very, very, very. It's good to have choices. Let's see that. So there's Jeannie Mae and Novak that will do one specific following. I've never, ever thought about. You tell her where to go, so I'm pretty sure she just trots off directly to in front of the dino mouth. I don't think you can make her go anywhere else. That's one of the ones I could think of from
fun to take her out. Like I put on my little.
She's a slaver. She's evil as shit.
And her voice is so obnoxious.
Yeah,
but, I mean that's why it'd be fun to take her out. Like take her over to the Legion and sell her to the Legion.
Nice.
I don't know. Maybe 2 evils don't make it right, but she kind of deserves it, right?
Yeah. So the ghouls are causing a problem. They're keeping the people in Novak and old lady Gibson from being able to get that sweet salvage at the Repcon factory.
So tell me a little bit about the Gibson lady again. I know you have to go to her later in the quest, but she is a scrapper salvager and wanting to get in too, as well as the people in Novak.
She is a character, or she features in a couple of different side quests. She's not that I recall in any of the main quest line, but she sells. So she sells junk. She repairs stuff, and she runs a scrapyard.
So basically, a merchant who will send you on various fetch quests or
No,
her.
well, no. You go to her to satisfy fetch quests. You go to her and she'll sell you a piece of junk, and she repairs things. Although I don't think I've paid anybody to repair anything in this game because I've got my repair skills tagged for me, so I've gotten it up pretty high. So you can buy like some of the special items you need, like the one of the items that comes up in the comply with me quest. I believe you can obtain from her. Yeah. There's
the control modules.
Yeah, that's right. The control modules only with her, and then there's other things like the 80 repair parts and other stuff that she will occasionally sell. I know what it is. She is also one of the options in the fixing Rex's brain quest as well.
Oh yeah, I that's where I'd visited her before.
Yeah, she's that's the least violent way to get a dog brain is from her, because I think
you can go kill some, right?
There's 3 dogs that will give you a brain, and hers is one of them. There's a Legion dog and there's a Fiend dog. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to remember how you get her dog. Do you buy her? I forget, or maybe you have to. I don't remember. I don't think you have to go hostile on Old Lady Gibbs. I usually go. I usually get the Fiend's dog because it's pretty easy, and you can do it in the context of doing the NCR Fiend side quest.
Very nice.
Yeah. So you cruise on up to the RepCon facility, you go up there, and there's a fair amount of junk and stuff. I think you start seeing ferals fairly far away from the factory, and there's a few. If I remember right, I think there's a few like little sort of salvage stations. It looks like maybe the people of Novak have kind of set up little waypoints where they can sort their salvage. I think there's places where you go and there would be stuff in containers and stuff sitting on shelves that are just sort of sitting out in the open, which that's the way I've always think about it. You know, that those are areas that the people of Novak and Old Lady Gibson have set up as salvage sorting stations or something like that. You start picking up fighting some ghouls. So you guys how about the combat? Anybody have trouble with the ghouls? I don't remember having too much trouble with the ghouls, although I am playing on very hard for some reason. I don't know why I keep doing this. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself.
No, my difficulty is not bumped up that high. Definitely not.
Yeah,
I found a combat knife that I'm really liking a lot for some reason.
The combat knife you said?
Yeah. I don't think it's a special thing in particular. It might have a name to it. Do you guys know?
There is a named. I'm pretty sure there's a named combat knife you could pick up somewhere, but there's also just a combat knife that's generic.
I think it might be. I could be wrong, but I think it's named. But I'm having fun. I've never played a lot of melee in Fallout, but I like.
What's the strength on your character?
It started out at 7. I think I've pumped a couple levels of what is that perk that lets you
intense training?
Intense training. Yeah, I think I've done a couple levels of intense training. Maybe only 1. It's at least 7, if not 8.
So you could probably swing the rebar club.
I've seen rebar.
Yeah, so when you go under there's an underpass that you go where you first start running into live ghouls, and if you come back up over to go up to the top of the overpass, you see a nightkin that's dead there, and that nightkin has a rebar club.
And is that like a particularly high damage?
Yeah, melee weapon.
Nice.
It's in the slow. So that's in the slow variety, but you've got the combat knife, which is fast.
Yeah.
So depending on what do you want to do a lot? Do a lot of stabby fast action, or do you want to just swing a big old club and smash their heads in? Yeah.
And then up on top, there's also a cowboy repeater. Up on that on the overpass where there's a bunch of.
I think I know what overpass you're talking about. Yeah.
So what would you consider the cowboy repeater? Right, probably like a mid game rifle. I don't think it's late game, but I think it's better than your varmint rifle or some of the early game things.
I didn't realize.
Yeah. Well, and you pick it up. I mean, I got mine. I think probably just right after getting to Prim.
Okay. That's pretty early. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's a good, it'll last you for quite a bit of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Until you start getting into, if you want to do rifles, you start getting into the brush gun and some of the other things that you can pick up off either the NCR Rangers or the upgraded Legion troops.
You guys
start getting some of those.
Do you guys have any strong opinions of 9mm versus 10?
Yeah, 9 sucks and 10's good.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I've been using the 10. Is 9 basically like the pipe rifle or the pipe pistol version? You know what I'm saying? Is that an apt? No.
Oh, it's a real gun. It's just there's just so much more variety of guns in New Vegas than there is in 4. Right. I mean, 4 you get the variety through the mods, right? So you have the variety in a different way. But in terms of base guns, there are just a staggering number of base guns in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you've been to Novak. So once you've been to Novak, the only gun that you need to carry around for a pistol is that gun.
Yeah.
Or
when you get to Honest Hearts, you can also pick up Joshua Graham's 45, which is pretty freaking awesome.
You like those 45s?
Well, that particular 45. See, that's the named guns are mostly maybe not 100%, but mostly not modifiable. The base 45, you can get some good mods for it, including a pretty nice silencer. Joshua Graham's 45, A Light Shining in Darkness is its name, does not let you add mods, but it has such good DPS that you really, it's worth the sacrifice. That's Arthur who says carries the Joshua Graham gun as his pistol, but it's pretty late. You have to finish Honest Hearts to get it, so it's a more of a late game.
All right, I haven't done much at all at those weapon improvement benches. Give me advice. What items do I need to take to it? Do I need to bring, do I have to have a certain repair skill in order to do it?
You're talking about the reloading benches or the workbench?
I haven't done either, Pat. I don't know what the difference is.
So the reloading, so the one with the blue vise on it is a workbench, and then there's the one that's got, I don't know how to describe it, like some weapon reloading, bullet reloading machinery on it is a reloading bench. So you don't need to mess with that one at all unless you want to start making your own ammo, which I never bother with because money's not a problem in this game.
I've been picking up cases because they're weightless. Is that what the cases are for?
Yeah. That's actually one of my relatively few pet peeves with this game is it forces you to pick up. There's no way to not pick up the cases and drained energy cells. You don't get them all back, but when you're shooting a gun with cartridges or an energy cell or microfusion cells, some of the empty ones come back into your inventory, and they're weightless, but they just clutter up my inventory. They annoy me.
But you can refill them, right? You can
refill them. You got to have gunpowder and lead and.
That's for a bullet. What about an energy cell?
I forget. I haven't done that mechanic, and I played it a few times back in the day, but it wasn't that entertaining to me, so I didn't spend a lot of time with it.
Yeah, and I did take the junk round perk the last time I leveled up, so just so I could play around with that because I hadn't used that before.
So I have my service rifle. Service rifle.
There is a service rifle.
Yes, yeah. I want to improve that. Tell me how to do that.
You don't do that at a workbench. You go to a vendor who sells mods, and they're randomly distributed. Okay. And you buy.
What is randomly distributed?
The existence of mods.
Okay,
there are various vendors like such as Vendortron, who will sell weapon mods. And you go to them and you buy the weapon mod, and then you apply it to your gun and your Pip-Boy. So the workbench is not used for weapon modding like it is in 4.
There are different mods that are for specific.
Yes, they're very, very specific. So if you're not sure, save scum because you'll waste the mods are often very expensive.
Yeah. So you can make mods at the workbench.
Oh, okay.
Because I made. What did I make? Oh, I made improved action for my varmint rifle when I was in Good Springs, just to play around with it.
Oh, nice.
And okay, so you don't actually improve your own weapons other than the repair function that you can combine older, lesser weapons to improve your top rated one. In order to get modifications to improve your damage, you would have to purchase them from specific weapons vendors. Vendertron being one. Do you have any others off the top of your head?
A lot of the vendors will have a chance at selling mods.
A random chance to have those mods.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I think there may be some, Andrew, that are. I mean, I'm looking at the page. There is there's a page of weapon mods that's ginormously long. There's all kind of options from all the DLCs and everything else. It's not simple, but so the key is to make sure either save scum. And what I usually do is if I'm not sure if a mod will work, I usually just save, buy the mod. If it works, I go on. If it doesn't work, I reload the save game rather than bothering to stop what I'm doing and look it up.
It doesn't even tell you which mods go with the.
Well, so some are clear, some are not. So you don't. Yeah. Like the named weapons, for example, like some of those are modifiable. I think if I remember right, most of them are not.
Okay.
So I will sometimes buy a mod and see if it'll go on this named weapon. If it won't, then I'll save scum.
All right, and to get a bunch of caps, I almost said Kino. Caravan. You
can. It's faster to just kill Legionnaires and NCR troops and sell their shit. And it's a lot more fun than Caravan, if you ask me.
And you don't have to have as high a luck skill.
Yeah, Kevin Keel, a community member, was telling me I need to download the Caravan app. I've downloaded it so I can learn how to play the game because I totally just skipped it in the beginning of the game and walked away.
It is completely optional. Now you can, with a high enough luck score, you can pretty easily break the bank in each of the casinos. And there's Gamora, Tops, Atomic Wrangler, the Ultra Lux. Can you break the bank at Vault 21, Ray? I think you can.
I don't remember.
So anyway,
Prim is one of them.
Yeah, Prim. So there's 5 or 6 casinos, Andrew, and with a high luck, you can go play blackjack, and you will win. If you have a 9 or 10 luck, you will win an absurdly high % of the time. You hit 21 a lot. You get cards you can split, so you can that's with a high luck character. I don't remember if your character's high luck or not, but if you have luck of, I want to say, oh, yours is pretty shitty.
Yeah, it's 3, and I haven't improved.
Yeah.
Forget
about it.
Yeah. Don't waste your time. You will actually get bad luck at that. I think there's kind of a mid range where you get neutral, and there's low luck. You get bad luck at the table. High luck, you get good. So if you have a high luck, you can go to the casinos, break the bank, and each casino, like I think the Ultra Lux, I think is the one that gives you the most, like 10 or 12,000 caps. So you can make, I don't know, 20, 30,000 caps if you break all the banks.
The casinos,
then you can't do it anymore. They kick you out after that.
The casinos aren't going to be bringing me any bad luck. Little foreshadowing. I bring the bad luck to the casino. Ring a ding ding, baby.
Yeah. No, but just because you take care of Benny doesn't mean that you can't still gamble at the tops.
We'll get into it in a little.
Speaking of getting into it, we're 45 minutes in and haven't started a quest yet. So let's get back on track here with our adventures at RepCon with Come Fly With Me.
Yeah.
How's that for a smooth segue? Forcing the action. So you get into RepCon, you get past the ghouls outside, and you march in, and so Andrew, do you remember the first thing that happens when you enter the factory?
Not the first thing immediately. Eventually, you run into a ghoul named Jason.
It's like, hey,
yeah.
Over here.
Hey, you smooth skin, come here.
That's not Jason. What's that guy's name? That's
Chris.
Yeah,
over the intercom.
And you think that, of course, he sounds like a ghoul.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, very natural.
So, but he just sounds like that. So you get the impression that you're a ghoul, but like eventually when you stumble upon this dude, he turns out to be just a normal gringo, and you're like, hey man, what the F is going on? Why are you masking your voice with this total ghoul thing? And he comes off as like pretending that he is a ghoul.
You're not fooling me.
Yeah.
What's up with that guy?
He thinks he's a ghoul. It's as simple as that.
There's something more to that, right? Jeez.
Yeah. So he won't talk to you. He says, "Go talk to Jason, smooth skin."
Yeah, and that sends you off to find the real ghoul.
Yeah.
He's got a shocking sort of appearance to him.
Yeah. It's very different. Right. What does Jason? What does our friend Jason Bright look like, Ray?
Looks kind of like a glowing one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. And that's why I was sort of asking if ferals are attracted to ghouls, because don't glowing ones give power to ferals or something? Don't they? They have
well, it's the same thing. This is the same in all the games. They have a special area effect that they can fire off that will heal and even resurrect dead ghouls. I know in 4 they will resurrect dead ghouls. I think they will resurrect in the other games as well.
Yeah.
Well, and lore-wise, I mean, you get the best example of this in the Coop Manor. So feral ghouls are just a regular ghoul that has degraded and their brain is rotted to the point where they become feral. So at one point they were a regular ghoul.
Yeah. Just for some reason, I remember we read something about it. Their physiology wasn't as adapted as the others. The reason that some ghouls are still ghouls and others are ferals is because the ones were better adapted to dealing with the radiation exposure.
Yeah. So it's natural that they would just be around where ghouls would where regular ghouls could,
because they used to live there or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So Jason, he's an intelligent. Yeah, I agree. He's like a glowing one. He's wearing a suit, but he's like, it's kind of creepy because his suit has all these holes in it, and his glowing skin shows out through. I think it's a pretty well done character model.
He's got a very interesting quality to his voice. Little reverby, delayed sound to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's basically got himself. I think it's fair to call it a cult. Would you guys call it a cult? Seems pretty culty to me.
Yeah, probably.
Straight up cult.
Yeah. All right. So we're agreed. It's a cult, and he says, "Oh, we want to leave. The thing they want to do is abandon the factory, which is exactly what the people of Novak wanted you to do." But he's got a problem. He's got, what does he call them? Is it monsters in the basement? What does he call demons? I think he calls them demons. Yeah. The basement is full of demons. So what do you know? The cult's got a basement full of demons.
Yeah.
I like these demons.
Yeah. So and about actually, I kind of skipped one annoyance. Do you guys find this factory pretty hard to navigate? I think it's pretty mazy.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was going to be sort of embarrassed to admit, but I had to take just 15 minutes of just randomly running my character, looking at the map and running and looking at the map, and just to get it down so that I wouldn't have to, so it wasn't so annoying, because I kept doing loops and I kept coming back to the same place where I was. So I had to teach myself like it was a Mario Kart track how to get around this.
Well, and you want to go through this place because there is just an absolute crap ton of good loot.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder to scavenge then.
Yeah, and one of them is you go into a room with a bunch of lockers, and there's a safe on the floor. And if you crack that safe, there's a hunting revolver in there.
A hunting revolver? Wow.
Yeah, which is essentially a rifle that you hold in one hand, because it uses the 45-70 rounds.
And the safe probably has I can't even open the easy safes. I can open the very easy safes. I can't. You have to have
well, don't bother then.
Yeah, I think you have to have the 25 to get to easy. I can't even do those.
Yeah, it's not to force you to complete quests, because I think there's very, very few that are lock picking quest locked, but
Right.
there's so much good stuff and Sage. I can't stand not having well, at least 80 or 90 lock picks so I can get it to 100 occasionally with a magazine. But
I've got mine
I've got to have
parked
good luck
at 65 right now, and whenever I come across a hard lock, I just read a magazine.
Yeah. I took the magazine perk that gives you 20 from the magazines instead of 10, which is really nice because that way you can if you get everything to 80, you can get. And
right.
So I'm actually leaping ahead a little bit because I can't get it to level 22, which I'm not quite at this stage yet. But I in my playing ahead a little bit, I've actually picked up the Voracious Reader perk. Have you ever used that one, Ray?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever used it. It actually lets you copy the magazines.
Oh, really?
You have to use Wonder Glue. You have to have it. It's a pretty high lift because you got to be level 22. Other high requirements. You got to use Wonder Glue. But once you meet the requirements, you can pick up destroyed books, turn them into blank magazines, and you can copy the magazines, so you never run out of magazines.
That's
Sweet.
awesome.
Yeah. Voracious Reader.
I've got a crap ton of Wonder Glue.
Is there?
And you pick up a lot of it in this factory.
Yeah, there is some.
Yeah.
Is there an equivalent for food? Like it makes your food more effective?
There is.
I'm looking for something to pair with my survival because I've totally ignored that aspect of my character.
I think there's one that makes junk food give you better benefits. Let's see.
I don't mean to get us too far off track. Yeah, we need to.
No. It's I did it as my own fault. I did it myself. So yeah, I'll look that up, Andrew, while you walk us through. So once we finish wandering around this mazy factory, you find the door of the basement.
Yeah.
What do you run into in the basement?
Well, I don't even remember the order, but there was like all these monsters everywhere that were nightkin that were sort of invisible, right?
Yeah. That's the nature of nightkin. Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? But then I realized, they're just using stealth boys. Duh. But there's sort of a gargoyle looking ogre kind of super mutant type things. What is the actual background? Don't you learn the history of how these guys get made by reading terminals and stuff down in the basement?
I thought you learned in Jacobstown.
Yeah. I don't think it's here.
Yeah, you do learn. You do learn in game.
But eventually I stumbled to this, I believe it was behind a door. You find this guy who's holed up down there, right?
Oh, yeah. He is great. I love this character.
Up on like a perch. What was his name? Was it Chris or something?
Harlan.
Chris is the Harlan is the guy you're talking about the ghoul who's barricaded himself, right? Yeah. He
barricaded himself in the room and he's like got a perch and he, is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I thought that guy was really fun.
Yeah, no, yeah, this he is. So what is he? So you fight some. What do you, Andrew? Do you remember sort of? There's a couple, depending on sort of which way you go. There's there's sort of three main encounters that I think of.
A little confusing, right?
Yeah, well, you're in the basement and you're being chased by nightkin, and depending on what your lockpick is and which way you go, there's a few different branches, and I think of it as sort of three main areas / characters that you would hit. Andrew, do you remember which one you found? Did you find Harlan first?
I definitely interacted with him, so I'm not sure first or not, but yes. What does that dictate?
Well, no, it doesn't. I was just curious which one you found because so there's Harlan. So what is Ray? Do you remember what Harlan asked you to do?
Yeah, so he, he tells you the story of how he ended up in there and how, everybody went scrambling. And this ghoul girl that he kind of had the hots for ran off in the wrong direction. And he's afraid to leave his perch to go look for him because he doesn't want to run into any nightkin. So he asks you to find her. And you go down, searching the area and discover that the nightkin have locked away a bunch of the ghouls in prison, and it's guarded by a pretty gnarly nightkin, and can't remember if he's got either a minigun or a flamethrower. I think it's a flamethrower.
Yeah, I think it's right. Yeah.
And so it's him and one other nightkin in that entry area. You have to kill him in order to get the key, and get into the basement. Although you can find the key in a desk in one of the offices as well, because that's where I found it, because I ran into Davidson first and had a conversation with him, and Antler told Davidson that it would be okay if I went and found the stealth boys for them.
Now, who's Antler, Ray? Tell us about Antler.
So Antler is the leader of this group of nightkin, and Antler speaks to Davidson, and it's a Brahmin skull.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah. Which, is kind of curious because, Brahmin don't have antlers.
Yeah. I guess it's like the jackalope version of Fallout New Vegas. Yeah.
But so that's, Davidson hears things in his head.
Yeah. And what's funny is if you don't, I forget what I did. I think maybe I killed one of his followers and he got aggro on me. Because if you make nice with him and don't bother Antler, you can actually solve this. You can actually defeat the Nightkin without killing anybody.
Right. And I killed one of them, the one that you first run into as you enter the area. And that was mostly because I'd never used Eddie's perk where you can target a invisible character through VATS. So I just wanted to see how that worked. But he didn't make any mention of me killing that character. I didn't kill any of the other ones that were in there. And so I went in, from Davidson's room. I went up and then interacted with Harlan and told him, I'll go find your girlfriend. But there's a terminal in here that I need to, read. And so I went upstairs, and if you go into that upper level of that room, Harlan turns aggro on you.
Yeah.
And so, he went down pretty quick.
Oh, you didn't kill him, did you?
Had to. He left me no choice. He wouldn't stop shooting at me.
That sounds like self-defense to me, Andrew. I don't think Ray's got a problem here. Sounds pretty natural.
Yeah. Just turn around and walk away.
That's not Ray's way. We know that.
But he's
so you guys we all sort of went in different orders, because I actually found Harlan's girlfriend, I found her corpse first. That's for whatever reason I tend to I forget whether it's left or right or whatever. I typically when I play this quest, I not by choice, I just happened to stumble that way. I found her body after killing the guy with the flamethrower, who is a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea in what order I did, but I also stumbled upon her body accidentally. I was like, "Oh, there it is." I had no idea where I was.
Yeah. So you the fact that you found the dead ghoul, so if you find her first, you actually can close out Harlan in just the first conversation, because he'll say, I'm looking for my girlfriend, and he starts talking about her, like her sweet, like scabby skin and everything else. Is very romantic. And he said, I got bad news for you, Harlan. If you do that, then he just buggers off, and then he leaves, and the the room is available for you.
What does he go?
To
Does
search.
he go to Novak and hang out or anything?
Where does he go? I want to say I have never encountered him. I think I saw somewhere that he may sometimes show up somewhere. I don't think he's scripted to go anywhere, but I believe he may show up.
Like he seemed just like horribly drunk and like a gambling addict, just like a slug.
Yeah.
A ghoul.
Maybe he'll hang out with Beatrice at the Atomic Wrangler and get some little bullwhips in the Croesus action.
Hot the trot.
Yeah. So you get him. You can also there's a couple of different ways. You can just kill Harlan outright and then screw that, or if you want to kind of do the whole peaceful thing, find his girlfriend.
Yeah.
What is it? If you want to be peaceful, you hack the terminal in Harlan's room, which tells you that the stealth boys that the Nightkin want are not there. You go back to Davidson and you tell Davidson, "Hey, your stealth boys aren't here," and then they bugger off. So you can actually clean out the basement without any loss of life if you play your cards right.
Including the Nightkin.
You can't, although it's hard not to kill the first couple, as you're just kind of wandering around. I mean, if you go into sneak mode or if you run your own, the stealth boys in this game, I don't know if you guys have played with them much. The stealth boys in this game are very effective compared to what in Fallout 4. So if you're wearing a stealth boy, you have a very, very high likelihood of sneaking past anybody. So that's the other option. You could sneak past them, or I want to say, Ray, maybe you said this. I think maybe if you kill the first Nightkin, I think if you kill Nightkin before you talk to Davidson, you can still make peace with him. But I think if you kill any after you talk with him, he'll go aggro. I forget. It's kind of because I have killed a Nightkin and then still made peace with Davidson, so it's not an absolute.
Yeah, I think it may be just the number of Nightkin that you kill. Because I killed the first one and didn't kill any more, and he didn't make any mention of it at all.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So you do that. You clear out. Clear out the basement. You go back and report to Jason. Hey, the demons are gone. Jason's like, you think, the first time you do this quest, you think, hey, I'm done here. The basement's cleaned out. Jason, those ghouls are going to bugger off. We're done, right?
Yeah, you guys are. Yeah, he's like, no, go fetch some shit, bitch.
You got a lot of shit left to do here.
Go do my bidding. Here's a grocery list.
Yeah, exactly. So you got a fair amount of fetching. I think it's what is it? Let's see.
You need the control modules.
I mean, is it the point that he lets us know that he's the grand plans?
I don't think he'll tell you the grand plans till you're down in the basement, will he?
Okay.
Right. Yeah, that's what it is. It's they're like, okay, we're ready. Let's go. Come join us and see us off. And so you go downstairs, and then that's when you see the rockets. Okay.
So, but first. So why are we fetching these things for him? What is our motivation to please this guy?
You mean other than completing the quest?
He's got some rockets he wants to launch, of course.
He's got some XP in his pocket he owes us.
I mean, you're tasked with getting rid of them, so you got to go all the way.
So we've come to the conclusion that following this ghoul's rules is the only way to get rid of the ghouls at the RepCon site.
Now, Ray, have you ever tried to murder them all, Ray? I've never tried that.
Oh.
Yeah, that works too.
What's his name likes that?
You can
Manny,
Manny.
Yeah, they don't care as long as everybody's cleared out. Yeah, so you kill all the Bright's followers and all the Nightkin and Harlan.
What about Chris? Does he count?
I don't know if he counts or not, but he's there. So if you're going to kill everyone,
and I think if you go, I think if you go aggro on Jason, Chris will fight you. So I think it'd be very hard. It'd be very hard to kill all the ghouls and not wind up having to kill Chris as well.
Chris, yeah,
because I did it when I did my kill everything run through New Vegas, and so I was going to kill him anyway.
Nice. So yeah, so you get the control, and we actually kind of spoiler alerted this earlier in the show. You go find old lady Gibson, who and this is another one where you can if you're I believe this is the one where if you're talking to old lady Gibson, you can barter. I think I want to say it's like 600 caps or something. It's a pretty expensive part.
Yeah, I think it's 5.
Is it 5? Okay, yeah, and you can barter her down to I want to say maybe 250.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have the it's not Church of FM, it's the other one. What's the
Lady Killer?
Lady Killer, thank you. Yeah. If you have Lady Killer, you can flirt with her and she'll give it to you for free.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and she's got a pretty cute line too when you do that. So I don't remember what it is out off the top of my head, but I remember laughing pretty hard at it because it's But I waited until dark and snuck in and stole it.
Oh, nice.
Because I wasn't popping for 500 caps.
No way. Yeah.
Where's
I want to say the barter may not be that high that you have to at least get it down to 200 or 250 or something.
See,
that was still too high.
I don't have barter for shit, but my speech is really high. I feel like I got her down to 250. Maybe not. Let's
see. No, it's your good call, Andrew. It's either speech or barter, and it is 50.
Nice. So where was the scrapyard located?
Just north of Novak. You're talking about Gibson's scrap, right? Old lady Gibson's place.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Just walk up. It's between her. She is between Novak and Helios 1.
And we're sent there for thrust controllers. Were there any other locations possible where you could find thrust controllers? This is the only location they're available?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. And also atomic fuel was the other thing we had to go get, right?
Yeah.
Now, I found it on a dead man in a yellow radiation suit is where I found mine. But reading in the notes, I found that there was actually like 3 or 4 different sort of options you could do for this one too. This fucking quest, man.
Yeah. I always like to get the dinos, and I found something this time that I had not because I'm playing my character Janie E in my playthrough is pretty amoral. So like she'll kind of do whatever the mood strikes her, and she decided she didn't want to pay Cliff for his stupid dinos, so she picked the lock to his storeroom, and that that gun was sitting on a shelf in his storeroom. So I got a free copy of that gun.
That's where I got it.
Yeah.
Is there a gun called That Gun?
It's called That Gun. Yeah.
Serious?
It's the gun from Blade Runner.
That's awesome.
And the name is a play on another gun. I think in Fallout 2. I think.
Are you guys ever a fan of the Thuumcast, the Skyrim Thuumcast?
I have not listened to that one.
I loved the Thuumcast, but the same people did a New Vegas podcast, and it's called That Podcast. So,
there you go. Yep. Nice.
Now I get the reference.
Yeah. So that gun is a very good. Like I said, I think Joshua Graham's is better in the late game, but that gun is very, very strong revolver.
Is it always there?
Yeah.
It is always available for sale. Is it also always in the stock room, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, it is. Every time I've ever seen it, it's been in there.
All right, so tell me about these dinos. Why are they like nuclear powered or whatever?
Is it the dinos or the rockets?
Yeah, because I saw.
You're right. You're right. It's you're right. It's the rocket souvenirs.
Yeah. There's a crap ton of them on the floor in that room.
And the pit of the dinosaur in the souvenir shop.
Yeah,
in the belly of the beast. Yeah.
I also read that it's not Ralph and Arnie's, but something like that, where you can get the passport to get into the gate. What's that place called?
Only at Nick and Ralph's.
Nick and Ralph's. I heard that. I read up
stuff you're not even supposed to have.
That's right.
I read that upstairs they have like a vending machine with a ton of the rockets up there too. I think.
Oh,
maybe I could, but I think I read that.
Yeah. Again, not buying anything to get rid of the ghouls.
Yeah.
Because it'll take less than 500 caps worth of bullets to do it the other way.
Yeah. The easy way.
Yeah, so you get those rockets, and you take them back to Chris, and he
5 was in the amount, right?
yeah. So you take those back to Chris, and that is the fuel that he needs for the rockets, right? So you think you're done now, right? You've given Chris the rocket fuel.
No.
Oh no!
This is the place that I always get lost going to.
Oh, into the launch bay.
Yeah.
Now there's a shortcut, right? Once you.
Clearly not.
When I found
you have to find it the hard way once, but when you snake down into the basement of the bowels of Repcon, you get to the launch facility, you pick up your spacesuit, you grab that. But if you go down this one branch corridor, there's a trap door that leads outside, and it leads just to the outside area of the Repcon. And once you've gone out at once, you can go back in it that way, so you can shortcut straight to the launch area.
My question,
that's the way that I go get the parts you need. But to get up to the to the launch control.
Oh, you're not ready to go to the launch controls yet, though. You've got more action. You've got more fetching and questing to do. Remember, because Chris needs that. He needs the rocket fuel, but he also needs. There's also the. Depending on what you want to do with him, you can turn Chris. This is the point at which you break the news to Chris that he's not really a ghoul. Remember, and Jason, the little shithead ghoul, makes you do his dirty work.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Jason gives this big long speech about what does he call it? The journey?
Yeah. To the great beyond or whatever.
Yeah. The journey to the great beyond, and he talks to the ghouls, and he leaves you stuck there with this idiot Chris, and you're the one that has to explain to Chris that no, dude, you're not a ghoul.
You're not a ghoul, and you're not going.
Yeah, and if you're of a mind to make some mischief, you can turn Chris against Jason and have him sabotage the rockets.
So we should have Chris do that. Nice.
Yeah. There's a couple of different ways to sabotage it. One is to have Chris do it. So I did that because I hadn't done this way in a long time. I went and found the sugar bombs. So you bring 3 sugar bombs back to Chris, and he will. I want to say you might even have like one last chance to talk him out of it, but then he will sabotage the rockets.
I think it takes a 50 speech check to get that to go.
Let's see.
Or will he do it willingly? I thought there was a speech check. I know with the control panel, there's a science check.
Okay. With a speech 50 check or Black Widow, you can convince him that he is human, which will gain karma. Then he says he wants revenge. And then you can go either way. So I think to convince him that he's human, you got to have 50 speech check or Black Widow. I think if you don't have that, he still thinks he's a ghoul, but he still fixes the rockets, I think. And then he the wiki says that if you convince him that murder isn't the way, he relocates to Novak. But he's back in Novak in my game, and I did have him murder the people, so I don't know. It's
it goes anyway.
Yeah.
Seems like a
cool. So Chris, eventually you get all the fetching and questing, and you see Jason and his followers crawl into the rockets through the observation deck. You want to make sure you pick up a spacesuit that's on a shelf down in that launch area because it's really good radiation protection.
I've been running around.
Oh, they're cool. They're cool looking too.
Yeah.
I put Boone in the vault. Was it 23? Vault 23, I believe. I put him in that vault suit and like a welder's mask or something, and I'm wearing my spacesuit. Looks like we're a couple like robot aliens running around. It's pretty fun.
I wondered who you had in the welding mask in the picture you posted. I didn't recognize who it was because nobody puts Boone in a vault suit, Andrew. Jeez.
Boone's in a welding mask and a vault suit right now.
That is so wrong. That is so wrong.
Well, I kept trying to put him in the Legionnaire armor. He wouldn't wear that.
Oh, duh. Those fuckers killed his wife.
Kept dropping it, and the dog
or sold her into slavery, I guess. Yeah.
Rex wouldn't even carry it either. Like they
Yeah.
both like
Rex and Eddie won't carry any of the faction armor. It took me the longest time to figure that out in my Arthur playthrough.
On the ground, yeah. I think I lost a few items before.
Yeah, I definitely did. Unfortunately, that's clothing, and that's not the most valuable stuff. Although, if you have like a fully repaired like set of like NCR wrap armor, face wrap armor, or whatever the hell it's called, it's pretty valuable if it's in perfect condition.
I need to find some of that NCR Ranger armor. Or do I earn that through NCR side quests or something? Or
oh boy, I don't remember.
I need to get my hands on some of that. I'll look into that, see how I can get that done.
Yeah, no, that's some sweet stuff. Yeah, that's kind of like the marine armor that you can get in Far Harbor in Fallout 4.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a good look. It's very badass. Yeah. Yeah. So finally, you do all this preparation, and Ray, as you said, you make your way upstairs to the launch bay, and there's yet one more little branch here that you can do. Now, do either of you guys have stupid characters?
Andrew does.
Yeah, my intelligence is pretty low. I think I bumped it up once, but it's.
Did you?
Did you do the stupid option at the?
No, because you told me that I needed an intelligence of 2 when I had already bumped it up to 3, so I didn't even have the option to do the low intelligence 2 option.
It's too bad. That's too bad. Yeah, it's just a little dialogue box that's pretty amusing when it pops up. I forget the exact words, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I was interested after you had brought it up. Ooh, if you still have an intelligence of 2, you should do this. But I'd already bumped it up, so I was interested to see what it was going to be.
Yeah, and I think what is it, Ray? If you launch it properly, 2 of them launch and 1 of them crashes. I think.
Yeah, one of them goes.
No, if you do it normal, one of them kind of wobbles a little bit, but then takes off. All 3 of them will make it.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that one crashed or something. It still makes it okay?
Yeah, it wobbles a little bit, but then it shoots up into the sky.
Oh, not Flight of the Valkyries. What's that song called?
Yeah, Flight of the Valkyries.
I thought that was really awesome.
Yeah,
like this is really cool.
Or if you can sabotage it and they will all crash, or if you can sabotage it there at the controls.
Yeah, with the science of 50.
Yeah, or you can have Chris do the shenanigans with the sugar bombs. Yeah,
with the science of 50, you can just like cross the wires wrong or something.
Yeah, there's a control panel off to the side that you can fiddle with.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
not that high.
Yeah, so there's even at the very end there's a few different options, but once.
How does Chris use you said sugar bombs or something? How does he use those to sabotage? What does he do?
Sugar in the gas tank.
Yeah.
Sugar. Oh, so they just don't take off? Do they explode or something?
They explode on takeoff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
It's probably the same animation as if you tamper with the.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah.
Control panel.
Yeah. But that's it's so many branches on this quest. It's a lot of fun, and I think the characters are well done, and Ray, you're right. I think Harlan's a lot of fun. So it's this is one of the there's a whole little sequence in there. You got this one, you got the Helios 1 quest, which is a lot of fun. There's a nice little run of side quests in this area that are really good.
At what point does Jason reveal to you the great journey plan with the rockets and stuff?
That's right away. Right after you meet him, he tells you that he needs you
to repair rockets to send people to outer space.
But no, not that he needs you to repair.
It's not that clear. Yeah.
He just says that they're trying to leave, but the demons are in the way.
Oh, okay. So what are your characters thinking when you're fetching this atomic fuel for this guy? What is the end game here, Jason? Do you actually think you're going to outer space? Like, gee whiz.
That's what I'm trying to remember, Ray. Does he definitely, you're right. He definitely talks about the great journey early, but does he explain the rocket ship stuff, or do you only get that when you're actually down in the basement?
Yeah, I think that's the first time I remember saying that is when you're down in the basement and he reveals, you see the rockets on the launch pad. And
whoa, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can, some of the speech options as you go through, is like, yeah, you can fly those to your death, and I didn't go that way. My guy was just, he was just interested in getting these guys out of here so that he could get back and get the info he needed from Manny.
What does Jason reveal about the great journey or the great beyond? What is the end place?
Just that it's in outer space.
And there's too much radiation there for Chris to survive, so that's why Chris has to stay behind.
Chris has to stay home. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is a huge quest.
Yeah.
It give you 1,000 XP, I noted. And based on your intelligence, probably even more, right? Is that how does that also work in this game? Like you get more XP depending on your intelligence?
You get more skill points based on your intelligence.
But not XP.
But not XP.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, there are effects other than intelligence that will modify it. Is it educated? There's a perk. Sorry, trait. There's a trait you can take that will impair your XP gains. Which if I weren't doing the right, I almost always will take that one because you've got a level cap. So all it means is you get to the level cap just a little bit slower than you do it. Now, I wouldn't take a perk like that in Fallout 4 where there's no level cap or effectively no level cap. But in this game where the level cap is pretty low and pretty achievable, it's like just get there a little bit slower.
Yeah. Nice.
And like the worst perk ever is the here and now perk that gives you another level. It's like, why don't you waste a perk on just like getting a level? That's crazy.
Yeah,
because there's a cap. Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, because there's a cap. Yeah. Hey, Andrew, while we were chatting here, I found the food related perk I was thinking about. It's called Old World Gourmet, and it was added by the Dead Money DLC. So Ray, you might not have it. I think you've got your DLCs turned off, right?
Yeah, they're on delay start.
Yeah, I don't have mine activated yet either.
Yeah. So you may not get this in, Andrew, until you have it turned on. But it's you just have to have it enabled in the game menu. You don't have to start it. But if you have all the DLCs loaded, like with the Game of the Year edition,
I didn't want all the extra armor and weapons to start.
Okay. Well, in that case, you probably don't have this. But
now that I'm level, like 13 or 14 or whatever, I can go ahead and activate those. I wouldn't mind some of those cool weapons.
Yeah. So it's from the Dead Money DLC. You need endurance of 6. You need survival of 45. So it's not a trivial requirement. And if you pick it up, it gives you 25% addiction plus 25% addiction resistance plus 50% snack food health bonus. And some types of alcohol provide health. So it's kind of a weird little thing, but it makes all that junk food you pick up be a lot more valuable.
Nice. Alcohol, junk food.
Yeah.
No, that actually sounds cool because, again, survival is one of my assigned things, and I really haven't done anything to incorporate that. I haven't sat beside a campfire and cooked since Sonny taught me how to make the healing powder or whatever.
Yeah. Well, if you get your survival up, you remember you can go to a campfire. You can look at all the recipes. So if you find a recipe that you think is interesting that's within your survival skill, you can then go find the ingredients.
Yeah, I need to pump up I need to start investing in my survival because I got my speech to 100.
Nice.
A couple weeks ago. And now I've been pumping a lot of stuff into medicine. I think I'm about up to into the 70s for medicine, but I think my survival's still down in the 30s.
Yeah. Survival wasn't assigned to me, so I've only got it in the sort of mid range. But I'm enjoying making some sweet chems with my survival and a few other things.
Speaking of chems, if you're going into like a chem playthrough, is there a way to like team up with wait, who was the chem group? So was that the Great Khans or something?
The Khans supply drugs to the Fiends.
The Fiends.
Yeah, the Fiends. So the Khans are the kind of kind of
middleman dealers.
a main. So there's the cons, which are sort of a side faction that you explicitly have interactions and quests with. The Fiends are a raider gang that they have a couple quests related to them. The Fiends are pretty well realized, I think.
I think NCR sent me out to kill them a couple times, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
One guy had a flamethrower, if I'm not mistaken.
Cook. Yeah.
It blasted me in the face for a little bit.
Yeah. No, he's a pain in the ass, Cook.
I think that might be where Boone got his welding mask from.
Quite possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, 1,000 XP, but Novak fame.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things I'm working on in my playthrough is getting idolized by as many of the little side factions as I can. Like places like Novak and other places. I think I got myself up to idolized in Novak.
And then you can go back and satisfy Manny's request of getting rid of that, and then that basically completes They Went That Away too, right?
Yeah, that's right. He says go to Boulder City, and you get the map marker to head up to Boulder City. I think you get the quest Boulder City Showdown. At the same time.
Yeah, and that is Boulder City Showdown will be our next quest, and then Ring a Ding.
Yeah, and you can, if you're so inclined. I think you can just go straight to if you just want to not play it out. You can just march yourself straight up to Boulder City. But,
or to Boulder City.
Have you done Boulder City?
Yeah.
Sorry, great.
There isn't any requirement. There like the cigarette butts or the other things that you get to help convince that Benny's a bad guy. There isn't anything like that at Novak. You can just go right through.
Yeah. So Andrew, have you done Boulder City yet?
Yes, I did all of those quests.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll ask you about it in a couple weeks when we do that. Or 3 weeks, I guess, when we do that.
Ring a Ding's going to be fun. I'm excited to talk about that one.
Yeah.
And then on your way up there, you run into an interesting character with a guitar next to the billboard.
Yeah.
So, and I'm okay. So I haven't completely given up on randomly killing people. And this guy, I had him in my sights because he's got something that I really, really wanted, and that is he's got the mysterious revolver.
Nice.
Is that something to do with the mysterious stranger?
Yeah, so you learn through a conversation with this guy that most likely the mysterious stranger is his dad.
Wait, like as in the mysterious stranger from all the Fallout 4 and the previous Fallout game? That guy who appears out of nowhere, who helps kill things when you're in the middle of VATS, but he's a phantom otherwise when you're not in VATS. That guy actually
it's not canon, but the guy definitely kind of sort of leads you to believe it could be true.
So
because his mom told him that his dad was a really mysterious fella.
Oh, come on.
And he was he was never around, so he was really a stranger to me.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. So I totally believe this guy.
Well, and when he, so there is a way that you can get him to give you the gun, but I wasn't going to go to the trouble. And so, but if you, when you get that gun, when you draw it, it makes the mysterious stranger sound.
Nice. And what benefit does it give? What are its perks?
Oh, it's just a really strong 45 or 44.
Just extra damage. It doesn't shoot faster or anything fun.
I think it has some bonus critical damage.
Ooh, now you're talking, Ray. I wish crits were a little more well defined to me. I still don't understand when they're happening or how they happen in this game. They just seem totally random. Is that the case?
More or less. It's based on so that
luck.
one's based on your luck.
Yeah. Which sucks for me because I never get crits because my luck is shit.
And then there's different things that'll add so either critical hit chance or critical hit bonus.
And the chance would increase the frequency in which that would happen, and the bonus would be extra damage on the
right.
Yeah. There's a lot of a lot of different perks, and like so there's weapons like what is it, the switchblade I think has bonus critical and bonus limb damage. There's a fair number of special effects like that will get fired off by either specific weapons or certain perks.
Ray, I just wrote down Mysterious Stranger. That's not the name of that weapon. What was the name of that weapon?
The Mysterious Revolver.
Revolver. Thanks.
And so the Coyote has kind of been collecting unique pistols at this point. So he's got he started off with the 35 that comes off of Trudy's bar. She has it resting in a cup, and so he stole that from her.
Oh.
But he's got that. He's got that gun. He's got a hunting revolver, and he's got the Mysterious Stranger pistol.
Nice.
Very cool.
Get yourself to Utah so you can get Joshua Grams.
Yeah.
You can go to Utah? Wait, the Legion?
That's where Honest Hearts happens. It happens in Zion National Park in Utah.
Is that over the... Wait, no. It's not over the river. Are the Legion still in Nevada?
Yes.
Okay.
Arizona. Yeah, they're on the other side of the dam, so they're in Arizona.
No, I'm sorry. Ray's right.
Oh,
yeah, Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tri-state affair. What a
game. And if you go due north from Vegas, you get to the canyon that leads you to go up to Utah.
Oh.
Which is the state just above Nevada.
You don't get to peek into Colorado for anything, or
I don't think so.
You get to go to the Four Corner thing.
Nope.
Too bad.
Well, that's the corner of New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado.
Nevada's not even part of that, is it?
And Utah.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
All right, guys. It is my bedtime. I will not prevent you. I don't want to keep you guys from going on a little longer if you want to, but I need to hang it up for the evening.
Let's do it, Pat.
All right. So any final closing shots? I think a really good discussion. Come fly with me, Andrew. I hope you're having some. Sounds like you're having some fun with this, and encourage people. Blighty episode next week. Listener in 2 weeks. 2 weeks listener feedback. So get that in to the Gmail address.
Listener feedback coming up. Everybody get your requests done and send us in some awesome feedback. Like the first, I'm very impressed with the first batch of feedback. Let's see if you can outdo yourselves again, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a few people that need to to come up with some feedback. There were a lot of them and it was really good, but there's still some people that haven't done it.
Yeah, there's a few names out there who took characters. Yeah. Still looking to hear from you.
We prefer to have the MP3 or voice memo from your phone app so we can hear everybody's voices. But if you're not comfortable with that, don't have the right kind of setup or whatever, and want to drop us an email, then we will be glad to read that out too. We want to hear from you no matter how you want to get to us, tweet at us, etc., etc.
Yeah,
and
we want to hear that story.
That's right, absolutely. So let's see, Andrew. I think so. Next week there will not be, the live stream is going to happen on Friday.
Yeah, I will upload the Blighty podcast on probably Friday evening, and I'll also stream it live on YouTube as well.
Yeah, so We won't be recording a traditional show. We'll be running the Blighty Show. And those of you who are on Twitter, you can subscribe to, actually, it's the ASA Twitter feed. I will always tweet when there's a new hangout going on for any of Michael's shows, for this or for Skyrimatic or anything else that we use the Google Hangouts for. So keep an eye there if you're on Twitter, or just watch the podcast feed. It will show up soon enough.
Yep.
And so I think our next live recording will be in not for 3 weeks, I guess, right?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
It looks like we'll get together on October 26th, and we'll cover Boulder City Showdown and Ring of Dane. But again, you guys get your feedback in, which will be October 19th, and you're going to be doing for They Went That Away Part 2. Come fly with me, what we just did tonight. Plus, also get into your Boulder City Showdown and Ring of Dane, and then we will get into that after you guys.
Look forward to it.
Yeah.
So, Kara, feel better?
Yeah, we miss you, Kara. Drink some NyQuil.
Yeah. Hope to see you in a couple weeks. Ray, thanks for joining in.
Always a good time.
Andrew, as always, a pleasure.
Thank you, Pat. My pleasure. Thanks.
All right, guys. We will see you next time on the Fallout Feed.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, the Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.